World Cup 2026 continues to shock us. There were some games in 132 knockout stage where Brazil won their match, which was obvious because of the Carlo Ancelotti factor. However, there were some shocking performances from the, let's say, some strong teams, and one of the favorites. I mean, Germany was eliminated and lost to Paraguay. At the same time, Netherlands lost to Morocco national team, and both lost in the series of penalties. And I'm not surprised by the fact that Germany was eliminated so early. I have mentioned you in the previous videos that this generation simply not good enough. Because I have watched the games when they played in 2010, 2012, 2014, 2016 even. They were like they had a very, very strong squad with a very clever manager, very charismatic manager, Joachim Löw. You know, and you could understand just by watching 10 minutes of the performance of Germany national teams that they have a something, they have something, they have some kind of ability to perform well. They have a, you feel that they have a, that they are the main favorites in every competition where they have played in that periods. And I supported them for that time because they were exceptional. And I liked the way how they performed. It was so clever and wise in every match. They couldn't win all of the competition in that period of time because of the fact that in some periods they were unlucky. But overall, if we analyze that performance from the period 2010 till 2016, they were exceptional. But for this generation and the generation from 2018 or 2000, let's say 20, or even 2022, I have to say that this is average. I mean, you cannot find any player as Miroslav Klose, Thomas Müller, Toni Kroos, Marco Reus, or I don't know, Mats Hummels, Sami Khedira type of players, or Mesut Ozil type of players in this squad, in Germany national team squad. It's simply there is some average performances with the average players. I can mention only Kimmich from Bayern Munich, who is a world class for me, with a very strong character, with a winning mentality, who wants to win. That's why he's a captain. But for the rest of the players, I cannot mention that kind of thing. There is some young players with a huge potential, for example, Musiala or Florian Wirtz, but it's not enough to win the World Cup. Also, I can mention the factor of the coach, because for me, Nagelsmann is simply not good enough. Like, it's not only about the squad, also about the manager, and Nagelsmann is not good enough for this Germany national team. And it's not a type of coach who will win some kind of a big trophy for you. Even if you bring him for Real Madrid, he gonna fail there. Or even to Barcelona, he gonna fail there. He failed with Bayern Munich, and he gonna fail in that kind of big clubs to achieve something big. He can go somewhere like Red Bull Leipzig and qualify every season to Champions League, finish top 4. Yes, Mauricio Pochettino, for example, have done with Tottenham Hotspur, but would never win something serious in his career. So it's about that. And it's simply not good enough for the national team who wants to go far. And I have mentioned you in the previous videos that Germany national team will not go far in this competition, because some people and some pundits were saying that they are one of the favorites. and even my friends were saying that, even my some friends were saying that they are one of the favorites. Their performance is exceptional, blah blah blah, but not. If you watch 10 minutes of their performance, you would understand that this is simply not good enough. And it was a fact of why they have lost to Paraguay. And going playing a draw with Paraguay on the game is a fact of being not good enough. I can understand that, but to not be prepared to the series of penalties and miss 3 shoots from 6 is a disgrace. Like, it's a real disgrace. They were not prepared to the series of penalties, and it's the only national team in their history, this squad, that lost in the series of penalties. Before, Germany national team have never lost a series of penalties, and now they lost it. And you know why? Because they were not prepared to it. And it's very bad for the coach, also for the players. There is some players with a weak mentality. For example, Kai Havertz, and he's a main character. I don't know why, but when I watch the German national team, I see him as a main character in all advertisement, or let's say all previews. But he cannot be a main character. He can be some kind of rotation player in a strong squad, maybe. But he cannot be a main character. The guy who lost a lot of matches with Arsenal, a lot of league titles with Arsenal, and the Champions League final with Arsenal cannot be the main character. Simply, it's not possible. So it shows the main picture of this game and of this national team. So let's see, maybe they're gonna change their head coach. Maybe Jurgen Klopp gonna come to Germany national team as a head coach because he's free. He's ready. He wants that kind of challenge. He has experience in a club football. Maybe he gonna try himself in the national team football. So he can be a very, very good option. There is also the candidate of Thomas Tuchel, for example. He can be sacked from England national team because simply they are not good enough. I mean, the job that Thomas Tuchel is doing there is simply not good enough. The squad that he has chosen, and I will tell about it in the latest videos. So I mean later, but for right now, I have to mention that there are some options to replace Nagelsmann. Let's see what their federation gonna do, and we will see. But if Nagelsmann stays in this national team, it will not go far. I will tell you. I mean, don't expect something serious from this national team for upcoming 4 years at least with this kind of coach. So there were another game where Netherlands surprised me, because in the previous videos I have told you that they're gonna go far. I have told that kind of thing because of not only their performance in the group stage, but by the fact that they are have one of the best squad in this competition. I mean, if you look to each position, I mean, from the central defender till the attack, they have a very good balance in the sense of having experienced players with young talents. So Ronald Koeman has failed this job. All the blame on him, because if there were Louis van Gaal, for example, he would never ever eliminated from 132 knockout stage. Of course, there were Morocco, who is showing a great performance, and big applause to Morocco national team, because their coach, who went with them till semifinals, left the national team, but they are continuing to show a great performance. So it was a not easy job, but Louis van Gaal would never be eliminated from this stage. He would do something clever, like he has done in World Cup 2014, where they played against Costa Rica. Costa Rica was in that time also some kind of underdog, but very strong. Organized in defense. They had Keylor Navas as a goalkeeper who was exceptional in the series of penalties. They were winning some big matches. And Louis van Gaal just put there in that match another goalkeeper for the series of penalties. I remember that day. I watched that game. It was Tim Krul. And he just made save 2 or 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, and they have won that match because they simply needed to win. And before that, they won Mexico national team when they qualified after the group match, and they won and made a comeback by, for example, they were losing 1-0, and after they scored twice, and they have won. And you know, Louis van Gaal would do something extraordinary and clever that Netherlands national team would go far than this. And all blame on the Ronald Koeman, sorry, because it's simply not good enough. Because you have one of the best squads in this World Cup with all balance, the best defender in the world for the last decade is Virgil van Dijk, who is also captain. Also, there are exceptional players, for example, Dumfries on the right side as a right back, or there were Mickey van de Ven, there is Frankie de Jong, Gravenberg, Cody Gakpo, and so on and so on. So it's simply not good enough and unacceptable for the coach. Yes, it is what it is. Sometimes it happens, and that's why football is interesting. You know, there are a lot of unpredictable things in football, especially in the football with the knockout stages in the Champions League, in the World Cup competitions, so in the Euro. So that's why it gives you some kind of adrenaline, because you cannot know what's going to happen. You cannot know 100% what's going to happen, and Netherlands are eliminated. Let's see what they're going to do. Maybe they will also sack their manager, their head coach. There are some options with Arne Slot, who is free and ready to become a new head coach of Netherlands national team. There is also another coach with Erik ten Hag. Maybe he gonna come. Anyway, maybe it was the last World Cup for Virgil van Dijk, and he deserved something in this World Cup, at least semifinals, because he was exceptional. And his teammates was also not bad. I mean, full of talents, full of balance, not too much young, not too much old. It was a perfect balance with the age in this team, with the talents. And I'm sorry for Netherlands national team fans, because I thought that they are one of the favorites in this World Cup, but they are eliminated and they are out. And congratulations to Morocco national team. They are doing exceptional job, and maybe they're gonna go far in this World Cup. Last time they went till semifinals. Maybe they would even knock out, win France national team. Let's see. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Bye bye.